Hi, I'm Tammy, and I am the author of When the Lion Roars, Answering the Call. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the chapter that I wrote. The most difficult chapter for me was Forgiveness as Freedom. For many different reasons, this chapter was really challenging and kind of, risky for me to put out there. Um, as you know, if you've been reading some of my book, that a lot of it is about taking risks and, stepping into your power, finding your animal totem spirits and allowing yourself to answer the call and allowing other people to hear your roar. So that's exactly what this chapter is about. In this chapter, I talk about some family secrets, some family dynamics that um, none of us really talk about. And that was hard for me. I talk about some, things that have to do with people that I love and people that I used to love, people that help teach me lessons along the way. So part of that coming out, um, if you will, telling and sharing these secrets, exposing my vulnerability and some things about my family members that I'm really so grateful for, and the way that I can see um, these people in my life is such a blessing and such a gift. It's like, looking in a kaleidoscope, and, as you turn the kaleidoscope and the pieces are the same pieces there, they just look different and they appear different to us as we turn that kaleidoscope and we see from a different perspective. We see with a different lens, and we're able to, look at people in a different way. I'm able to look at my father, for instance, who is the kindest, most loving, giving human being that I know. And just to be able to, through that ability of forgiveness, freeing myself from that energetic bind and bond, I'm able to see that and I'm able to experience that in my life with him and with other people. I'm able to also see the people who have hurt me as those who gave me the greatest gifts, the ones who taught me and helped encourage me to do what I'm doing right now, which is telling my truth, exposing the truth of my life, and also standing in my power and letting others hear my roar. It's part of my archetype, it's part of like who I am. I realize that experience that I had, experiences through my lifetime and my childhood, were all to help me have that shamanic death and then step into that and receive that shamanic wisdom and shamanic initiation. It was also able to see these people through the lens of their own pain, their own trauma, and their own hurt. And to know that my father was not hurting me on purpose, that he simply was not able to do this because of his own trauma and his loss, the loss of his own father, which was so traumatic. And he couldn't be available to me because he didn't have that ability. Just like as I was going through different times and phases in my life, I wasn't able to be completely available to my children. So I was going through my own trauma of my divorce and other changes and initiations, shamanic initiations in my life. So the forgiveness as freedom, I hope you can read through that lens, that if you're able to see things from a different perspective, if you're able to kind of, turn that kaleidoscope and see those pieces, the same pieces in a different form, then maybe if it resonates with you and you're willing and able to see some of these things as gifts and to use them to stand in your power, use your voice, and let the world hear your roar.